It's a physical game.
Oh, me, oh, my! A monster jam by Blake Griffin. Oh, what a play by Blake.
What happens when a 6'9" human wrecking ball defies gravity and then turns around to make you laugh on national television? Blake Griffin wasn't just born to dunk, he was born to entertain. Whether he was soaring over a Kia or cracking jokes on a comedy stage, Griffin proved he was more than just a basketball highlight reel. He was a force of nature. But how did this Oklahoma kid become one of the NBA's most electrifying stars? And later, one of its most surprising personalities? Let's rewind. Blake Austin Griffin was born on March 16, 1989, in Oklahoma City, son of Tommy Griffin, a former basketball player and coach, and Gail Griffin. Blake grew up in a sports-centric household. Basketball was not just a game in the Griffin family, it was a way of life. His older brother, Taylor Griffin, also went on to play professional basketball, and the two trained under the watchful eye of their father. But Blake wasn't your average sports prodigy. In fact, he was homeschooled until high school. That meant no school basketball teams, no public exposure, and no early fame. Still, Tommy made sure Blake and Taylor trained like pros. They learned fundamentals in the driveway and honed their bodies with intense drills that set Blake apart physically from other kids his age. High school to college stardom. When Blake finally entered Oklahoma Christian School, he exploded onto the high school basketball scene. In his junior and senior years, he led his team to 4 straight state championships. By the time he graduated in 2007, he was a McDonald's All-American and widely regarded as one of the top high school prospects in the nation. Griffin stayed close to home and committed to the University of Oklahoma, playing under coach Jeff Capel. It didn't take long for him to dominate college basketball. As a freshman, he was solid, but it was his sophomore season in 2008-09 that turned heads across the country. Blake averaged 22.7 points and 14.4 rebounds per game that season, becoming a human highlight reel with jaw-dropping dunks, coast-to-coast drives, and sheer physical dominance. He swept every major individual award. Naismith, Wooden, AP Player of the Year. You name it, he won it. Blake Griffin was ready for the big leagues, NBA draft, and early setback. In the 2009 NBA draft, Blake Griffin was the undisputed #1 pick, selected by the Los Angeles Clippers. Fans and analysts alike saw him as the savior of a long-suffering franchise. But the hype train hit a wall before it even left the station. Griffin suffered a stress fracture in his left knee during the preseason and missed the entire 2009-10 NBA season. It was a devastating blow, but Blake used the time to heal and to get stronger. And when he finally made his NBA debut in the 2010-11 season, he didn't just meet expectations, he shattered them. Rookie of the Year and Lob City, Blake exploded onto the NBA scene like a supernova. He averaged 22.5 points, 12.1 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game, earning a spot in the All-Star game and winning the 2011 NBA Rookie of the Year award. But it wasn't just the stats, it was how he played. Blake Griffin dunked like a man possessed. He didn't just throw down slams, he demolished rims. The most iconic of them all, the 2011 Slam Dunk Contest, where he literally jumped over a Kia sedan, catching a lob from Baron Davis and slamming it home. It was a marketing masterstroke and a basketball spectacle. Blake Griffin wasn't just a player, he was a brand. The Clippers, once a joke of a franchise, became Lob City when they acquired Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan. Together, the trio formed one of the most exciting teams in basketball. Griffin's high-flying dunks, CP3's pinpoint passes, and DJ's rim protection made the Clippers must-watch TV. Evolution and injuries. As the years went on, Griffin matured. He expanded his game beyond just athleticism, developing a mid-range jumper, ball handling skills, and court vision. At his peak, he was arguably the most complete power forward in the NBA. But the injuries never stopped haunting him. From knee surgeries, to quad injuries, to broken hands, Griffin's career was constantly interrupted by physical setbacks. Still, he kept evolving on and off the court. In 2018, the Clippers made a shocking move, trading Griffin to the Detroit Pistons. It marked the end of an era and the start of a new chapter. In Detroit, Blake had a brief resurgence. In the 2018-19 season, he averaged a career-high 24.5 points per game and even led the Pistons to the playoffs. But again, injuries caught up with him. By 2021, Griffin signed with the Brooklyn Nets, where he transitioned into more of a role player, still valuable, still smart, but no longer the explosive dunk machine he once was. Life beyond basketball. What truly sets Blake Griffin apart is what he did off the court. While many athletes dip into acting or endorsements, Griffin took a unique path. Stand-up comedy. He appeared on late-night shows, comedy roasts, and even performed at Just for Laughs in Montreal. His dry wit and self-deprecating humor surprised everyone. From acting roles in movies and TV shows to launching a production company, Griffin proved he had layers. He was more than muscle. He had brains, timing, and charm. He also focused heavily on philanthropy, supporting initiatives for children, education, and healthcare, particularly in Detroit and Los Angeles. Legacy. So, what's Blake Griffin's legacy? He never won an NBA championship. He won't go down as the greatest power forward ever. But what he did do was redefine excitement in the modern NBA. For nearly a decade, Blake Griffin was the human highlight, a player you had to watch. He took a dead franchise and made it a contender. He made dunking an art form, and then, when his body started to break down, he redefined himself yet again, first as a leader, then as an entertainer. Griffin also helped pave the way for positionless basketball. At his best, he could handle, pass, and shoot like a guard, but still crash the glass like a center. In many ways, he was ahead of his time. Blake Griffin's journey is one of evolution, from small-town kid to NBA superstar, from slam dunk king to off-court entertainer. He never let injuries or critics define him. He just kept adapting, surprising us all along the way. Whether you remember him flying through the air or cracking jokes on stage, one thing's for sure: Blake Griffin left his mark. And if you blinked, you probably missed something incredible.